I do this on a bi-weekly basis. If you aren't following us on social media, please go ahead and do so, as Kim and I are posting things on a daily basis. That helps kind of fill the void in between now and our next class. But we do like to keep this format very short and simple to the point. You will be in and out in less than 30 minutes. And at the end of today's call, you will also get a copy of all the slides. If you guys do have any questions, you are more than welcome to put them in the chat and or wait till the end. We do have a little time allotted for questions, but if not, let's go ahead and get started. So as you guys are seeing here, this is going to be a slide that we've shown week after week. It's going to be the graphic on unemployment. When you look at this, you go back all the way to March and it's baffling to see the drop that we've had and the tremendous
real quick, Taylor.
Economy. Yes.
We can't see the screen.
You can.
I can see it, guys.
Oh, you can? I can't.
I also can see it.
Oh. What am I doing wrong?
No, that's so
I
odd.
can see it too.
I can see it.
All right, Kim, we're just going to go on without you then.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to do my presentation then, but okay.
So, if we're looking at this, I want to say, look at the phenomenal work everyone in our economy's done since March and looking at the drop. Yes, you guys can see in the last week, we did have a small uptick at 0.1, but I don't want let this to cause any fear. We know in the news that they are harping on this, and yes, unemployment is going up. But, after everyone we follow, and I wouldn't be too concerned, it's just the way things are adjusting and settling. It might be a little bit of a backlog. So don't let this feed your fears. But, we have said it time and time after again, one person without a job who wants a job is one too many. So let's keep up the good work and trying to get these numbers down. But luckily we do have forbearance in place to help aid all these people, so we don't have the same catastrophic event of 2008 all over again. This is going to be Mr. Anthony Penna's favorite line, and we've said it week after week also. The headlines do more to terrify than clarify. Going back to the general fear of unemployment numbers going up, that little uptick of 1.1%, we can give you all the reputable forecasts that we've shown in the previous weeks that are saying, yes, it is going up a tiny bit, but it's not to be too concerned about. We do not have a crystal ball though, but everything is looking on track. And as we showed last presentation also, people went back and revised their forecast because we were doing much better than they originally anticipated. Also, if you look at our unemployment numbers pre-pandemic, they're around 300 to 400,000 per week, and now we are at 1.1. So we are within striking distance of our pre-pandemic numbers. So we are getting there and we are close, but we're not going to see the giant upturn of losing another 6 million jobs lost again. But, so that hysteria may be out there, but, we do have the data to back everything up. And this is just to, help clear everything. But I want you guys to remember, if you take one thing away from this presentation, that headlines are meant to create fear and terrify, not clarify, because it's all a marketing strategy to get, viewership and clicks. So going into some of the actual data, this is going to be the concern versus the reality of forbearances. If we dial this back, what forbearances we're saying, as much as 30% of individuals who applied for some type of assistance are now, was actually the peak of 8.6. Currently, 7.2% of those mortgages are actively in forbearance. If you follow me and you saw the blog that we posted last week, consumers are on the herd and stop making the payments, and they thought it was going to be all fine and dandy at the start, and then once they realized the true facts, they're like, ooh, this actually isn't too good of an idea, and we're back to making their regular scheduled payments. So great news. And also the number of mortgages in active forbearance is leveling off. As you guys can see here, the trends have trickled down and we're still slowly keeping that downward slope going, which is more phenomenal news, because you guys are out there doing your job of letting them know the information and actually, extending forbearance if needed to help aid them. But if you've seen it here before, looking at the beginning, July was at 4.5 million, and now we are sitting at 3.9 million in active forbearance. But the good news is, like I just said, we are leveling off. I'm not saying we're going to go through the next 12 months and not see any foreclosures, but we will have more information on the foreclosures in the coming weeks. But I do want to refer back to hey, Kelly, do you mind putting yourself on mute?
It sounds familiar.
If you refer back to last week or 2 weeks presentation 2 weeks ago, we talked about what's going to be happening, and even if we do see the headline saying that foreclosures are going to be doubling, that's not going to be the doom and gloom of 2007, 8, 9, and 10 all over again. Even if numbers do double, that is going to put us in the quote unquote normal foreclosure rate. Our economy was in such a great stance before that we have room to be back in that normal range without any fears to feed. So going forward, this is going to be the percentages of all forbearances decreasing, which just reaffirms the number of mortgages in forbearance decreasing as well. Now going forward to, what I was just talking about, this is going to be a line graph, and it's very interesting to see here that Fannie, Freddie, and Ginnie dipping down, and that's sort of, the plateaued label is going to be private label. Referring into, or in our business, is the non-QMs who doesn't hit the typical box. So the old Alt-A or subprime, or these are the things that you are typically labeled as private label, and not every one of them is like you. They don't necessarily want to pay now or later. They'll just pay later. And if we start tracking this by the type of loans, we'll start seeing more of a complete picture. But remember, this PL includes jumbo loans, and a lot of those people that are in the jumbo loan category are company owners, CEOs, and they make these decisions strategically. So that is also another thing to take into consideration. We are going to see here, this is a point that we made earlier, that more than 1 million, it just published late last week, that a quarter of them are still making their payments on time, and others may have missed their payments or a portion of them, but in good news, they have started, getting everything back on track. So this is where we want to start the conversations with everyone out there. Here is going to be another fun graph to look at, and it just shows all of the hard work and reiterates the market that we are in right now. This is going to be the purchase applications of this time last year, and we are up 14 straight weeks of a year-over-year increase. We've harped on it time after time. We're in a low inventory market. There's lots of buyers out there. Tina Tambor even stated that we have multiple buyers looking per the amount of homes that are on our current MLS, and so we know you guys are all struggling with this, but it's just showing that this is across the nation, that it's everywhere too. And then we're going to go here, as people, if you look at this quote by Black Knight and Mortgage News Daily, we go into pricing and start off here. We made this excuse me, that people are still out there shopping. That's the story that we need to market right now, and the message you need to be delivering to everyone. If you're not using the Lawyers Title I app to help do some comparing differences between the low interest rates now and the buying power, you need to be. It is a great tool, and it's free for you, and it's also something easy to post on social media. This, is what you guys need to be getting out there, is that the buying power is crazy right now. The economy, yes, if it does get better, interest rates are actually going to go up. So now is a great time to take advantage of all this. And undoubtedly, this is something that you could, go after our market. So if you want to go after renters, their mortgage is actually going to be less than the rent they're paying. And why pay someone else's mortgage when you can be, racking in that equity yourself? Kim, are you able to see the slides now?
Yeah, I got out of this and then came back on, and now it's here. So that's good.
Perfect. I will let you take it from here then.
All right, so this is a study from the CEO of NAR, Lawrence Young, and it says here, although housing prices have consistently moved higher when the favorable mortgage rates are factored in, an overall home purchase was more affordable in 2020 second quarter compared to 1 year ago. So prices are not going to drop. We need to think about that. Are we getting this message out to our potential buyers? Are we getting this out to our sphere? And if you need ideas on how to get this information out to your people, please reach out to Taylor or I, because we can help you with social media, or if you need a mass texting app, or, you know, we have a lot of different ways that we can help you get this information. So let us know. So literally what is happening in the market is we are rolling back time, and the last time that the housing was this affordable in Arizona was back in 2018. And some of you, and some, as you can see, pre-1995, affordability is dominating the storyline here. So what does that mean? Let's go back and say, so if you bought a home for $400,000 this year, and versus buying a home that was $400,000 in 2018, look at those comparisons. Now, as we look at affordability and such going forward, what does that all mean? And it's articulated very well here by Javier Vivas. He's the Director of Economic Research from Realtor.com, and what he says is, with supply and demand moving in opposite directions, sellers are clearly gaining the upper hand in the market as buyers' competition builds up and prices gain momentum going into the fall. What we see is all the things that we have talked about going into the fall. Pricing is gaining momentum. All of the people that have been waiting for foreclosures to be happening, prices to drop, you know, waiting to get that home, waiting for it to be, you know, a little bit less, it's not going to be happening. We, just like Taylor said, we should be going after renters. And that is actually something that we can pull for you. We can pull renters' phone numbers that have leases that are expiring in the next 6 months. Those would definitely be good people to be going after, because like Taylor said, they would be paying less with a mortgage than what they're currently paying in rent right now. So if you can buy, but are going, you know, if people are going to buy or can buy, but are holding off to get a better deal, it's not going to be happening. So this slide right here, the housing market recovery, we've used this slide before. I love this slide. It's the NAR's Housing Market Recovery Index. And it's based on 4 components: demand, supply, and time on market. And it's been updated. If you see here, we started out at 106.5 in March. And then obviously we dropped, but since May, we have been increasing every single month. We went past the baseline February 1st, and now we are currently at 104.8 and continually increasing. So we are definitely super, super close to where we started. So when you look at demand and supply factors relative to the strength of the market as we go forward. So what we are going to get into now, we talked about in the beginning, new construction is a key indicator in our market as where things are going, and we need to be paying real close attention to this. So we want to look here at this quote from Zillow. It says, page views for new construction listings increased dramatically during the spring and summer, with greater than 34% year-over-year growth over the last 4 months, and we're up 81% in July as shoppers continue to show an interest designing a new home. So we talked about this, and we know that people's needs have definitely changed from 4 to 6 months ago as what their needs are. They're definitely a lot different today. And now that they're saying that our purchase power has increased. We can afford the homes, people can afford the homes that they want. So a lot of things are different now. People are working from home, they're homeschooling, people are working out at home. So we need to be taking that into consideration. Joel Kahn, on this next slide, he's MBA Associate VP of Economic and Industry Forecasting. And he's saying here that new home sales activity continued to rebound in July after a pandemic-induced low point in April 2020. In fact, applications for new home purchases with home builder affiliation were 39% higher than in July 2019. So if you see, it's not theory. You can see there's significant activity here. It's happening. This is data, this is the facts, and we want to make sure that we're sharing these facts with our people. So look at this right here. It's the next slide is talking about the builder confidence is rebounding. This was published last week, and builder confidence is at its highest reading in the 35-year history of the series. And just a good tip for everybody that is on this call, if you're on social media, if you're on Instagram and Facebook, it would be a really good idea to do a poll. If this is something that you don't know how to do, Taylor and I can definitely help you with this. But you're going to be polling, asking for a yes, no response. And what your question will be asking is, are you living in your dream work, teach, living home now? Then the next page would say, have you had any thoughts of making a change? Yes or no. And what's great about this is you can see who's responded and what their responses are. So you also want to be making friends with new build sales associates right now, because you want to be making room into your business to be sharing this with your people. Like I said, oh, sorry. Moving on, the message here is the text of the graphic, which is what we showed. And it said, builder confidence matches all-time high on record traffic. In a sign that housing continues to lead the economy forward, builder confidence in the market for newly built single-family homes increased 6 points to 78. August, according to the latest National Association of Home Builders Wells Fargo Housing Market Index, the HMI now stands at its highest reading in the 35-year history of the series, matching the record that was set in December 1988. So remember saying this months and months ago, once again, just affirming that the housing industry is going to be leading us into a recovery. So moving on, Realtor.com says that home builders are looking for agents to partner with, and I'm going to read it here. It says, more home builders are reportedly looking to build long-term relationships with real estate professionals. Builders realize they need real estate pros to bring qualified home shoppers to their builder sales offices. And as resale inventory remains tight, agents are realizing they need builders to give their buyers more options. So you need to build those relationships and figure out where does that fit in to your business. Home builders are looking for agents to partner with. So yes, we definitely have low inventory, and people, have different needs now, and they can afford those homes. So hopefully you have enjoyed this presentation. We're always looking for updated information to get out to all of you so that you are able to be the knowledge broker in your area. Does anybody have any questions from anything that Taylor and I covered today? No? As always, we will be sharing these slides with those of you that are on the call, and you are welcome to post these on your social media or share these or put a presentation together for your past clients. And thanks everyone for being on the call today.